Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dutzy Gaming and a new video on the channel. Going through my day one progress for Mayhem. I'm going to try and do a build diary every time I play. I'm not going to play every day this week because I've got quite a lot on. But I had some time on and off last night and this morning to make a fair bit of progress in the campaign. I was going to stream, but I had a few bits I had to do Friday on and off, so it would have interrupted it. And I planned on going SSF and super slow, so it might not have been the most interesting watch in the world. So the build I'm going for, if you haven't seen my guide on the channel, check it out. It's for a Frostblades Raider. So the reason I picked this because I thought uniques would be fairly common, but actually they're not. The loot rarity change that they did in 3.19 has definitely affected this sort of league. I think I've done tons and tons of mechanics. I've done some heists. I must have done about 30 Delirium Mirrors and not seen the unique reward. I've had a couple of unique chests in heists that have dropped one junk unique each. So I probably wouldn't have picked this build if I knew uniques were going to be as scarce as they are, but maybe it'll get better when we get into maps. I have had the Thrill Steel drop, so it's nice for leveling because it gives you onslaught, but it does cause you problems with, you know, resistances, life, stats, things like that. But overall, it's not been too bad. So don't follow this build. I've winged it because I've never leveled this build before. It's been okay, but Spectral Helix is carrying my single target. And that's even with lots of cold nodes. I've got decent claws. I'm running Hatred. I've got multi-strike in my links. And on a 4-link, Frostblades just doesn't cut it. It does damage. Like, don't get me wrong, it will kill the bosses. But Helix does them about 3 times quicker on less optimal links. So I won't go through the gear because it's all just life resistances. I'll just show you the 2 claws I've got. So this one for a campaign claw is really good. It's just a shame it doesn't have cold damage on it. But it's 30 to 80 fizz, 48 to 100 fire, and 6 to 116 lightning. Crit multi doesn't matter because we're precise technique. And then the other claw's not too bad either, but again, it hasn't got any cold damage on it. So ideally, I'd want these to be fizz and cold, but any LE damage in the campaign is fine. It's just because we're running Hatred, we're kind of losing out on loads not having cold damage, but I've picked up and ID'd loads of claws, I've crafted loads of claws, and I just haven't had anything drop with cold on it. But currency-wise, because you've got lots of different league mechanics within the campaign zones, you can end up with a ton of currency. And I'm not particularly target farming anything in particular. I just like doing the content when it turns up because it's been really, really fun. So there's not much to go through for this build other than I want to get Heat Shiver, replace this helmet with a Heat Shiver, and then that will boost my damage up a ton. So I mentioned we're going precise technique, but we actually still have quite a big chance to freeze because we're running Ice Bite support in my Frostblades link, which gives you a 15% chance to freeze. I have these 2 nodes here, which give me another 20%, so that's 35%. And then I have 15% here. So we actually have a 50% chance to freeze. So every other hit is going to freeze regardless if it's a crit, if it does enough damage. And at the moment, we're freezing all the stuff in the league campaign content. So when the Harbies turn up, we're freezing them. We're freezing the Rogue Exiles. We're freezing the Invasion bosses. We probably do freeze the Act bosses. It just takes too long. So I'm switching to Helix to do that. So what we'll do is just run the next bit of the campaign. So I have been super slow. I think I've had about an hour AFK time. And I'm 8 hours 27. So let's say we're 7.5 hours to get to like the end of Act 9. It's pretty long going. But I've just been really enjoying the content in the zones. So we'll see what turns up in here. If it's like bosses, yeah, invasion bosses. So we'll go and kill a few. They don't drop anything. They've been absolute trash. Rogue Exiles have been pretty good. Let's just put some sound on. I say Rogue Exiles have been really good for drops. The invasion bosses, maybe in Act 1 and 2, they drop some stuff, but I haven't had them drop anything good in the later acts. So we'll just go and find a couple. I'm pretty sure I haven't killed any by accident. That's one, I think. So yeah. That's the usual loot drop for these monsters, which is a bit of a shame. When they were on the Atlas tree, there were nodes where you can make them drop valuable rewards, and then they were awesome. They would drop 6-link, Divine Orbs, Chaos Orbs, all sorts. They were really strong, but they got removed when, obviously, Invasion got removed as a mechanic. So we'll just rush through, try and find another invasion boss or two, and then we'll go and kill this boss, who I find the worst boss in the game. I hate him. So again, that's another, like, basically nothing to drop, and I've got a very soft leveling filter, like super soft to the point where wisdom scrolls turn up. There's another one. Yep, no loot. So the invasion bosses I've been really disappointed with, because they were the thing I was looking forward to the most. But Rogue Exile is really cool. They drop quite a lot. You've obviously got Delirium. You've got stuff like Breach. So this is when I'll bring out Helix, because Frostblades is just not got the DPS. So let's not get killed here, and I'll show you Frostblade's damage. So this is Frostblades on a pretty decent link. I'm going to die here.
My mana is gone.
Yeah, so it's a bit disappointing that even with fairly decent gear, lots of nodes, Frostblades doesn't do a lot. But maybe when I get some Cold Claws, it will make a difference. That's it for this video. I'll bring one up every day. The first one is obviously just leveling through the campaign. As I say, I wouldn't recommend doing it. There's tons of better builds than Mayhem. I just wanted to see what this build is like leveling if I didn't want to go pure Spectral Helix, because it's something I've got in mind for League Start if there's no nerfs to the build. But yeah, looks like Helix is still the best way to go. And then maybe I'll go back to Frostblades for single target when I get a 5-link. But that's it for this video. Really quick one. And I'll try and bring an update out for the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and see you next time.